Just a quick video on seed saving. For peppers, this is a Czech black pepper. Normally, all I do is cut the pepper in half, or about, pull it open, shake out a couple of the seeds, then I just remove the pith with the seed in it. This one could be a little bit riper. I have a ton of these seeds though already. So mostly for demonstration purposes. Scrape out all the seeds, give them a tap, get the last couple out of there. There, just empty them out. So basically, get in there, move the pith that holds the seed, tap out any of the rest of the seeds. For peppers, I just let them sit for a few days, dry them out. You can still use this pepper. Tastes pretty good. Let them sit and dry out for a few days, and then the rest of the pith I can remove later. It's really good. Things like tomatoes, and these are ground cherries. Pepper seed in there. These are ground cherries. What I normally do, I don't know if you've seen these before. There. It's a ground cherry. They come in a little case like that. You can see that. Same family as like tomatillos and jack-o'-lanterns. You open them up, there's a berry inside. This one's overly ripe, like tomatoes, they'll kind of split, get too moist or whatnot. So basically I'll take those into a glass of water or a jar of water. Normally I just, these I'll just squeeze them and kind of squirt everything out of the inside. A lot of times I'll just toss the whole berry in there, so it sits at the bottom there. I'll just go through a bunch of these, open them up. It's kind of hard because I kind of want to eat these because they're really tasty. But just like the tomatoes, I squeeze them so they open up. And with these, I don't know if you can see this here. These are full of seeds. There's just a ridiculous amount of seed in these ground cherries here. Okay. So I squeeze them. Squeeze the berry, squeeze the juice, everything out of them. Drop them in there. And I get a bunch on my fingers, so I kind of flick off my fingers. And I just keep doing that. Open them up, squeeze them in, squish them a little bit, open them up. There's another one that popped open there. Well, squeeze it real good. We'll do that. This one's kind of green, but I'll do it anyway. There's a bunch of seeds in it. Don't know if they're developed. For the most part, if they're underdeveloped seeds, they'll float. And I can see I do have a few from that one floating. Just air in them instead of the seeds in the shell there. As a tip, if you already have a hole in the tomato or ground cherry, that's where everything's going to squirt out first. If not, you know, a lot of times with the cherries, the little bud there where it was attached to the stem will pop first. Or the tomatoes, any of that. So once I get them all in there, these cherry tomatoes are ripe once they fall from the plant. some of these are not quite ripe. I had a branch break off, so a couple of them fell off, so I tossed those in there. Figure I'll try to get them. I think I got most of the seed off my hand there. And then find my lid. This is how I do it. I toss the lid back on the jar. You can see there everything in the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, everything in there. I just shake it. Shake it up, agitate it a little bit. And then I'll let it sit for for a while, a few minutes. Let everything settle. Quit spinning around there. Let everything settle down. You can see a lot of the berry bits, everything float. So they're easy to scoop off. The dead seeds or the seeds that are underdeveloped will float. And then I'll dump them out. I'll look, at the berry bits in there, and if there's still a lot of seeds attached to them, I'll keep shaking them. It just helps separate the seed from the gooiness of the berry. Then I'll drain the water off. All the seeds will settle to the bottom, and I'll slowly pour water off of it. Just being careful. Let some of the berries fall out, the dead seeds fall out. Then I'll fill up with water again, shake it again. Especially with tomatoes, they have the goo that surrounds the seed. I do it a few times. Last time I did it a number of times. Worked out well. And all the goo came out. And then what I did, I took the seeds, set them out onto a paper plate for a few days in the sun. And as long as you get most of that goo off the seeds, they'll come right off of the paper plate. If you do have too much goo on there, they're going to stick. They're going to glue themselves to whatever. I had it on wax paper earlier this year, and it just basically glued all the seeds to the wax paper, and it's fairly useless. So you might want to try tossing on like a glass lid, glass bowl plate, something. Something like that might help. Anyway, that's the video. Just let them sit, and sooner or later then you get a number of seeds. I've been using these are, I don't know, test strips come in these for medication or whatever. I'm not really sure what it is. I get them from somebody. Anyway, these are ground cherry seeds that I saved. Just actually put them in here. They're pretty tiny. Put that over there. So those are ground cherry seeds. Good number of them. That was probably from 4 or 5 ground cherries. Those ones are small, kind of a pain. These are some of the peppers that I just had. It's the Czech black pepper. And then here's some tomato seeds. Now I don't know if you can see that. After I got the goo off of them and dried them out, they're kind of fuzzy little seeds. Not sure if they're all like that, but these are super sweet 100s cherry tomatoes. But I'm going to get back to pouring some of the water off of this. And if you can see, I don't know if that's showing up well there. There. See, some of the seeds are gathering at the bottom, along with the berries and stuff, but the seeds will sink to the bottom. You can still scoop a lot of the berry chunks off. Well, I'm going to rinse those up again and see what I get. Okay, this is a nasty old pepper. I didn't pull off the plant in time, obviously. It's all soft and gross. Let's see if I can get any seeds out of it. And the seeds should still be good. I guess you can let the plant, let the seeds dry on the plant, and then, or let the pepper dry on the plant, and then pull the seeds off later. If you want to do it that way. But anyway, I'm just gonna cut the gross pepper off of it here. There, and I'll probably just let this dry by itself. I have to go see what kind of pepper this was. I forgot to check. And so I'll have a couple of these seeds for next year as well. Okay, I rinsed them. One change of water, poured out a lot of the water, or most of the water here, and I still have, you can see them floating around in the bottom there, seeds. There's a little bit of pulp in there, not much. Once it's out of the jar I can pick it out. I recommend using a smaller jar, maybe a little jelly jar. Yeah, I know I have one sitting right here and I didn't use it. It's a pretty big jar. This is like a quart jar, I believe. It's just easier to get them out because they do stick, as you're dumping them out, they'll stick to the glass a bit. And you'll have to kind of rinse it and dump it and stuff. So, basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get them all in that little puddle here of water that's still in there. And then I'm just going to dump it out. Faster I dump on this, the more likely most of the seeds will come out. So, I'm just going to dump it out. There. I used a fork to kind of scoop some of the pulp out. It helps a little bit. If I had a strainer, I'd probably use that. I got most of the seeds out of there. I think there's 1 or 3 left. There's a few in there. I'm just gonna scoop them out here, dab them into the water, get them off my finger. Just like that. There you can see, get a little closer here. You can see the seeds there, and some of the berry bits yet here, which there's some seeds stuck in there yet. So I may just leave those on the plate to dry. And then you can see they sink to the bottom here. So I'm just going to dump some of this water back out, making sure I don't get loose too many of the seeds here. But the more water you get off of them, the better. You're just going to kind of follow me wherever I go here. There. There. There's a couple of them shooting back in there. But that's it. Those are ground cherry seeds. So that's how I save them. Then I'll just kind of spread them out a little bit here on the plate and let them dry out there. I'll put them on the windowsill in the sun and let them dry out, and then later I'll come by and scrape them up here and toss them in with the rest of them. Thanks for watching.